Thanks, John. I'll let somebody else take over.
Yeah, it was awesome. Hey, there's the cat. Hey, Andrew, are you around?
Meow 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 meow
He
meow
is
meow
around.
meow meow.
Do you mind to start earlier? I'm not hearing you. Oh, I don't know. You don't have. I don't think you have sound for some reason. And you're not muted. Oh, okay. Plug it in.
There we go. All right. Yep. Yep. You got me now, right? All
Yes.
right. Yeah, I can start earlier. I think it was scheduled for like 6:35 on my side as far as Eastern time zone. But yeah, I can play a little earlier. Let's go for it. Um, you're the there you go. Right on. Well, cool. Well, hey, it's good to be back at the QuaranPalooza and helping out Cancer Connections. And always glad to be moving a giant drum throne. All right. Well, cool. Let's get started here. Let me pop a little bit more. There we go.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Does that sound pretty good, John?
Sounds great, my friend.
Excellent.
Sounds wonderful.
Awesome. Hey, my name is Andrew Kasab. I'm based out of Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm a national touring artist, and I'm glad to always be here. This is always fun via the magic of Zoom to cross several time zones. Because over here in North Carolina, it's like dinner time. But over on the east or the west coast, it's appetizer time. But seriously, thank you very much for tuning in. And this is the wonderful August edition of Helping Out Cancer Connections in San Francisco. And I know, of course, there's a lot of great musicians coming up. So be sure to stay tuned. And of course, if you're one of the musicians, I hope to keep tuning in and seeing you guys through the night. I'm going to keep going. Some of these things here are really wonderful. This is a harp guitar, and this is one that's made by Timberline, actually on West Coast time, out of California. And one of the things that I love doing is sometimes doing other artists' piece. That piece right there was a piece by Peppino D'Agostino, who I had the fortune to meet out in California earlier this year. And I told him that I've been destroying his songs for many years, and he said, keep it up. So on that note, I'm going to play another one of his. And this is another one that he did. And of course, if he ever sees this, then, well, he'll probably still smile.
Oh my God.
Thank
How do
you.
you do that?
Wow.
How do you do that?
There's a button over here.
Yeah, right, sure.
So this is a harp guitar. They're a little different. This is an instrument. It's been around the States since the early 1900s, and really in the upper Midwest. There's not a whole lot of harp guitar manufacturers really internationally, and also just even nationally, there's just really a couple. And as far as the players go, it's funny because I keep tabs on these things a little bit, and partially because of COVID, but also it's difficult to travel with these things. So there's really only a couple, really only a few harp guitar players that travel around outside of their local little city. I'm based out of the Raleigh area. I'll go up and down the coast a little bit and do some stuff out in California. I would say that I love to be back in through the middle of like Nebraska and stuff like that, but it's a little harder nowadays. Though a couple of weeks back I was in Nashville, Indiana, which is kind of funny because it's not Nashville, Tennessee, but it's Nashville, Indiana, and it's like it's a great little community. It's in the southern part of Indiana. If you ever get a chance to go there, it's really cool because you'll be like, where am I? And I got to play there's a Indiana State fingerstyle guitar festival that's there, and it's really fun. The only thing that, of course, is a little catch to it is you're kind of in the middle of nowhere. So it's kind of like, I mean, you're just in the middle of nowhere, and so that's always the kind of the fun side to driving out there. The fun thing though, I love going there, and I've played there a couple of years now, and the hotel that's the hotel to stay at there, they've got their own little 9-hole mini golf course, right, which is cool, and it's great because it's just enough work that you're outside and you're walking around, but not enough that the beer that you're holding in your hand, really the weight of it draws you down and makes you have to sit down. So it's good stuff. They have a nice pool and whatnot. So I've told this to my kids a couple of times, and because I played there a bunch of times now, and my kids are like, "That's really cool." They're like, "Well, we'd love to go." And then I tell them where it is, and they're like, "Have a good time." So I said this to the audience there, and they said, "Well, why don't you bring your kids? It sounds like they would really love it." And I said, "But there's no TikTok in the mountains. There's no internet. And now you're on just a 10-hour drive with your dad." That last one that I played there was one that I tacked on at the end. That's called Over There. It's when you have these instruments, you really don't know what to do with them. And you either adapt stuff to it or you write some music for it. And first time that I had a harp guitar in hand several years back, I said, well, let's see what's happening over there on this sonic side of things. And so I wrote a piece. This is another one that I wrote from traveling around. I got a chance to play, and I'm going to probably tag it into something else, but I got a chance to play one of the top 1,000 venues to play in the United States. And as far as I can tell, whoever it was that had that designation really judged it on how fast you can smell the urinals from the front door. It's like, ooh, this is a great dive bar. Top 1,000. But they were really fantastic. It was the Empty Glass up in Charleston, West Virginia. And I will say that I had a great time there. It was a fun crowd. And when I walked in, the first thing that they said, and I will give a nod to Mr. Bob Barker in a sense where he just passed today at 99. Don't forget to spay and neuter your pets. But one of the things that they were very fanatic about was their game shows. And they had Jeopardy that they were really needed to watch. Really needed to watch. The bartender said, "You can't play before Jeopardy ends." And I thought she was kidding. I was like, ha, ha, ha. And then several of the people rotated around on their bar stools and said, you can't play until Jeopardy ends. And I was like, okay. So there's a little bit more to that experience. And but here, I'm going to get a plan here. So if you're just joining us, well, come on down and enjoy the festival. There's a lot of really great players. My name is Andrew Kasab. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. This is a harp guitar. Thank you.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I do want to get back to touring around and hitting a little of the West Coast a little bit more. Things have changed, and part of it is just really I will just keep blaming the pandemic on it. It's really there's a loss of venues that has occurred, and really dramatically in a lot of places. The West Coast is no stranger to this, that makes it a little more challenging. I know that there are still just a little bit of an artistic community in San Francisco, though, and of course California has always been a hotbed of activity. So it's just a question of being able to find a place out there, and then really it's a lot to set it up. It's the best way that I can put it. Now, in your area, just so that you know, there is another phenomenal musician that's along the same lines as what I do. Her name is Janet Nogura, and I think she's just wrapping up a tour that she was doing in Italy and Europe, and so she'll be back around in your area coming up soon. But my name is Andrew Kasab, and you can look me up at andrewkasab.com. And if you have a suggestion for a venue, just as John was so wonderfully had gotten me set up with one of the venues there, unfortunately things just bombed out. It's this way things go. But if you have a suggestion, feel free to contact me through the site. And then, of course, the other thing I would suggest that's never a bad idea is if you know anybody who throws house concerts, because there's a whole ton of those in San Francisco, or if there's any community event centers or stuff like that, feel free to pass along my information or have them get in touch with me. I do love to travel. I love playing around, and I have to be honest, it has not been the most wonderful time for not just artists, but honestly, for what we're here for, which is the people that are fighting and dealing with cancer. And the Cancer Connections in San Francisco, I know that they appreciate all the musicians coming here to help support their cause, and especially all the folks that are tuning in. And thank you very much. Don't forget, you can check back. This goes on, I think, pretty much every Saturday at the end of the month there. So you can always check back. John is the master of ceremonies here, who has just been, I don't even know how to say it. He's got his angel wings going. That sometimes you can really, if you tell, he doesn't even have a light on in his place. He's just got the halo. That's just glowing it. It's like a ring light. He's just turned sideways, but we'll just let him get away with it. This right here, this piece, I'm going to play a quick short one here. This is one that I wrote while watching the leaves falling and figured, well, I could rake them, or I could sit inside and write a song about, and then not have to rake them right now. Here we go. again, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, there's going to be a lot of other performers still coming up through the night. Thank you, John, for putting us on. Big thanks to all the good folks who paid for a ticket and are here listening, helping out the Cancer Connections. My name is Andrew Kasab. Y'all have a great night. I'm sure there's someone just as fantastic coming up next, so hang tight. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, John's. Oh, see, this is the problem. He's got his wings. He's trapped on the ceiling.